Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. If you're going to bet on sports, bet with MyBookie.com, where instant access to the action is just a fingertip away. Bet on anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.com. Use promo code Drinkin Bros to double your deposit up to $1,000. Welcome to week one of the college football season. It's finally real, Dan. We're here. We're here.
Yeah, it's time for some disappointment. This is one of my favorite times of the year because so many people are irrationally hopeful.
Yep.
And, in my younger days may have pointed that out more, but now I just kind of enjoy it.
Sure.
Just let it happen.
You not only let it happen, you enjoy being there at the disappointing games.
Yeah, if this opening game between Notre Dame and Ohio State was in South Bend, I would be there.
Sure. No reason, though, with a 17-point spread, and it just keeps going higher.
I mean, honestly, it would be extremely funny if Ohio State just got boat raced. To me, that would be.
To you, it would be great.
That would be really fun.
To me, it would ruin my life and the rest of my year. And let's face it, I've already had a tough year. Still having one, still going through one right now. Don't need it opening week of the season. Let's save it for a different day, okay? That's all I ask. Now, quick reminder, if you haven't watched the show for the last 3 years, we bet on all the games. There will be games that I will tell you, hey, I'm not going to bet on this at all. Please don't put money on this. It is simply because I don't want you to lose. I also post all of my bets in Drinkin Bros Sports. It is a private Facebook page. You will see all the bet slips, all the parlays, all of it, including last weekend. I bet on week 0. Did great, except for Nebraska, which forced me to bet on the Hawaii game late at night. Now, that parlay, I won. But if you want to watch my receipts, what I'm actually gambling on MyBookie.com, all of the MyBookie slips are in there. And you're going to see some wild shit. I do a lot of teasers. I do a lot of 6-point teasers. This year, they're doing 7-point teasers on MyBookie.com, which is a blast. Because I'll take that extra point if I can get it. And those are great for parlays, especially of over 5+ teams. Now, week 1, D'Anthony. We got Central Michigan against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is ranked 12. This is the Thursday night game, which is that's a decent Thursday. Oh, they got a better one on Thursday night. Never mind. This is on Fox Sports. This is Oklahoma State minus 21.5. Over under is 59.5. I do want to remind people that they lost their defensive coordinator there at Oklahoma State. Who do you got in this one, D'Anthony? Is the old Chippewas?
It's Oklahoma State. Central Michigan is not going to win anything.
No.
They actually beat Washington State in a bowl game last year, though, which is interesting. But Washington State sucked for a long time.
Right.
They played Missouri, lost by 10. Missouri sucks. Last year. LSU, they lost by 28. That's about what I expect here.
Sure.
So 21.5, yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. I'm also going to take this, however. I will buy a point and take it down to 20.5. I want to ask you about this over 59.5. I know you've got your secret formula there for figuring out what the final score is going to be. With a spread that is 21.5 and an over under of 59.5, what is that prediction on the final score as far as Vegas is concerned?
It's 40 or 41-19, basically.
Okay.
Which I think low 40s is probably correct for Oklahoma State. But Central Michigan, I don't expect them to score more than 15 points.
It depends. Opening week, usually the defenses aren't really there yet, especially with the new defensive coordinator there. I could see him putting up 21 maybe. I can see this being a 48-21 game, somewhere in there.
Anything is possible. Week 1 is the most difficult time of the year to bet.
It sure is. It sure is. I'm going to bet this on a Thursday night because I'm a junkie and I want to watch this shit. But I'm not going to put a lot of money on this game. There is better games this weekend for us to bet on here. This next game is a banger, dude. An absolute banger. West Virginia against Pittsburgh. Two gritty fucking schools. I enjoy watching West Virginia play. Every year, they're at least exciting to watch, and you never know what's going to happen with these guys. The spread reflects it. It is Pitt -7.5. A lot of people are picking Pitt to win the ACC this year, and they're also picking them, in Desmond Howard's case, as a playoff team, which I am not buying whatsoever, but here we are.
He's just trying to be different.
Maybe.
But I do think this is not far from being a home game for West Virginia as well.
Correct.
They're not very far apart.
And they travel.
Yeah.
Especially on a Labor Day where they don't have to work all weekend.
I think this is probably a one-score game. I'm not gonna bet on this, but if you are gonna bet, I would recommend buying a point and taking it down to -6.5.
Great. So what I will do in this as well is I will take a teaser in this. So I'm going to drive this up to 14.5 and take West Virginia on that side. It could be a 2-touchdown game. It could be, but at least I got that extra half a point in there. And that'll also take my Oklahoma State spread down to 14.5 in that game. And that will be my parlay for the night. It will not include this next game, which is VMI versus Wake Forest, because VMI, let's face it, is not an FBS school. And they'll throw up a spread at the last second on my bookie, but it's not going to be pretty in a game like this. Wake Forest, though, did lose their starting quarterback. Did they say who it's going to be? Did they announce who it's going to be?
I can check, but yeah, he's out for the year.
He's out for the year,
We had
yeah.
big expectations with him because he was putting up points
Oh, yeah.
all year last year.
Yeah, and he was projected to be a pretty decent draft pick. He is out for the year. But look, it's still VMI. They're going to win this game. However, there is no spread. If you're into shit like this, go to mybookie.com at the last minute, maybe, I don't know, an hour before the game. They will usually pop up a spread like this towards the end, but earlier in the week like this, absolutely not.
Looks like Mitch Griffiths, a redshirt freshman, will be starting for Wake Forest.
Griffith, like Andy?
Griffiths.
That's not even a real fucking name.
It's an absurd name, yeah.
I mean, his brother is also on the team, I believe.
Is he?
Brett Griffiths.
Look at that.
Yeah, there couldn't be two separate Griffiths families.
No, there sure couldn't be. Never heard that last name in my life.
My name's Griffith.
Griffiths.
His name is Griffith. Wake Forest is not too far away, by the way, from where the show Andy Griffith was filmed. So
Yep.
it probably is Griffith. They're just a bunch of mush-mouthed dummies.
Maybe.
And they fucked their name up. It's like Ellis Island, but they did it to themselves.
Yeah, it just evolved over time like the English language, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
less and less. Yeah.
Is he white? Are they white?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're from Ashburn, Virginia. So
Sure. Big fan of
I
that.
don't. Hold on. Let me see where that is.
I don't even know where that is.
Is it in Appalachia?
I've never even heard of it. Oh, look at that pimp. Put him up on screen. Look at that
Good-looking
guy.
kid.
Dude. Man. I'm sure he's having a blast.
He needs to get a real fucking name. Oh, it's just outside of D.C. is where they're from.
He looks like a mush mouth.
Yeah. Squishy face.
Yeah, he does got a squishy face.
That's fine. I think it's a good-looking kid.
Well, look,
He's a college football quarterback.
He played a little bit in 2020. He was 4 for 13. And then 0 for 2 last year.
Great.
So
Great. So we don't know what to expect out of this except for a victory. Look, they're going to beat VMI.
they could run the ball every single play and they'll win.
Correct. So in that, it's not going to matter. And again, if you want to bet on that, feel free. I do not do shit like this. Even me.
I mean, I don't
for
even.
Christ's
I
sakes.
have no gauge on what the spread's even going to be. Probably 28. I
Ah.
guess.
It'd be
30s.
probably even low because Wake Forest can dump it in. Honestly,
Yeah,
this kid,
30s.
3-star prospect. He was the number 22 dual threat QB in the country in
Look,
his
he was
class.
in Elite 11.
Yeah, he's Elite 11
This
I
shit
know-
quarterback.
for shit.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah, nothing. 3-star is all I needed to hear. I'm good on that. It's kind of like when they talk about Bronny James and they're like, how good is he? Well, he's got a high basketball IQ. Didn't ask that.
I'm excited for him to go to Ohio State.
So I by the way, I heard a rumor LeBron is taking him there on Saturday.
It's not a rumor; it's confirmed.
It is confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it for the recruiting trip for basketball? Because I know they're taking all the recruits there for football, but it's unusual for basketball.
So LeBron can go see Ohio State football.
That's funny. So it has nothing to do with them because Ohio State is recruiting the kid.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to check out the facility, but
Yeah.
I think he's going for the football game.
That's funny. Why not? Look, you get to stand on the field at the biggest game of week one. That's a blast. Shit, you might as well use it. The one thing I will say about those guys is they're on the cover of Sports Illustrated right now, both the kids, and it's called The Chosen Sons, D'Anthony, and that's never a good idea. It never works out for these superstar kids that they're actually any good.
Ken Griffey Jr. is the only, Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey Jr. are the only two I can think of whose parents were great and they were great.
Right.
Marcus Jordan wasn't bad. He played at UCF. He averaged like 20 points.
He never played in the NBA.
Never played in the NBA, my
Right.
man.
But
Also,
he's a decent college player.
Yeah.
Can I read off some 3-star recruits for you?
Please.
Patrick Mahomes, Nick Foles.
Loser.
Let's see who else here.
Losers.
We all love Baker Mayfield.
Well, that's a 3-star right there, brother.
Lamar Jackson. Well, yeah, he wasn't a 5-star like Josh Rosen.
I never bought the Josh Rosen hype ever.
Josh Allen, also a 3-star. Oh, man. I mean, there's a lot. Here's another good 3-star. Aaron Rodgers.
Is that how you pronounce that? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Where did Josh Allen grow up, by the way?
I imagine California.
yeah, I don't think he's from Wyoming. Matt Ryan, also a 3-star.
Or no. I thought you said Josh Rosen?
No, Josh Allen.
Josh Allen?
Yeah, I know he went to Wyoming College, but
He's from California.
oh, he is. Okay. Okay.
Some other good ones. Russell Wilson, a famous 3-star.
Okay.
I mean,
But he should have been a 3-star.
Yeah.
Like Russell Wilson's intellect and drive and tenacity are what makes him good, not his physical capabilities.
Yeah, and to back that point up, like Tom Brady sucked in college. Like we used to work them over, and everyone's like, "Oh, he was a 7th-round draft pick." Well, he deserved to be, and then he just worked hard. And yeah, there is no substitute for hard work. But in the NBA, I think it's a different story, man. With Bronny James, I don't think he's physically going to be big enough. Otherwise, you would have just made the jump. And I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Made what jump?
To the G League. So recently in this article, they said he was probably going to he was going to skip the G League, not enter it, and then go to college first. So the assumption is he's got to work out his game for a few years at a college level before he gets crushed by G League is full of great players, man.
Or he wants a college experience.
I would lean on that more than ever. If there's one positive out of an NIL deal, if you could get paid millions of dollars and still go to college, wouldn't you do that?
I don't think that's the case because there's like this kid's on multiple occasions posted videos of himself rolling blunts on Instagram and shit. Like he's getting a college experience in high school right now. I'm not sure that would be a big draw for him, to be honest.
Yeah, but you get away from the parents for a little bit.
How often do
Yeah.
you think LeBron's even around?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but his mom's around all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, mom doesn't care. Kids running around, mom doesn't care.
And LeBron goes to all the games with like Drake and shit. That
Yeah,
would get
he
annoying.
does.
It's funny, like LeBron's at all the games, but he's just there hanging out with his buddies.
Yeah.
Like fucking D-Wade.
Yeah,
and Drake.
it's sweet, dude. It's sweet. I'm going to make you come to the soccer game, the opening soccer game.
I'm actually going to start a hooligan.
Would you come? Would you go?
Yeah, but I'm going to start a hooligan firm.
Okay.
Like a football firm is a group of super fans who don't necessarily care about the outcome of the game so much as they do about pounding on the other team.
Right.
So I'm going to come and start fights with the other parents. I'm not even going to root for your kids. I'm just going to yell insults at the other kids.
Sure.
Get that fat fuck off the fucking field.
They would love it. Bob, you'll love this too. Baseball started the other night, which is always a blast. I just wish it wasn't that hot here, but there was a sign now put up on the Dripping Springs baseball fields.
where the parents were fucking with the umpire.
Correct. That video that went viral on TMZ, they put up these 0 tolerance signs all over the field, and we got called to this coaches meeting, and they were like, "Look, it is 0 tolerance. We want you to talk to the parents beforehand and let them know." None of that. You cannot scream at the refs. You cannot scream at all of it. It was pretty intense. I was like, all right, shit.
So basically, the umpires want to be able to do their job poorly and face no consequences for it. Fuck them.
The problem is,
You're getting paid like $20 a game.
well, and they're high school kids.
Yeah, like you're
they're
not-
high school kids.
So fuck them. Go do something else then, you little bitch. Either do your job correctly and receive praise for it, or do it poorly and get yelled at for it, or don't do it at all. Those are the
Receive
3 options.
What praise? When have you ever praised an umpire?
Always. When they make a good call.
Never.
Never
heard that
It's
at
a
a
thankless
league game.
job. It's a thankless job.
I don't give a shit. Like this attitude is permeated through baseball for the last couple of years and football and basketball as well, where the umpire can be absolute dog shit at their job and affect people's livelihoods and face no recourse for it. Fuck those guys.
But as kids, though, you're not really affecting their ability that much.
It pisses me off, so that's enough for me.
The one that I almost raged at, I was this close, was I got called for a balk in adult pitch, and I was like, you did? I did. And he was like, your foot wasn't on the rubber. And I was like, I'm pitching to children.
Can they even steal? We weren't allowed to steal bases.
We weren't allowed to steal, but the pitch didn't count, and I had to do it over. It was wild. I was
rules
like,
are rules.
Yeah. And he walked it out, too. Stopped the game. Walked it out to the mound, and he goes, right there. It's got to be on the rubber.
I think that if the umpire sucks badly enough, the two managers should be able to eject the umpire from the game and replace him.
And then do it on your own.
I mean, in Major League Baseball too. Like I think that would be very appropriate.
Well, the robots are coming, right?
No, I don't think so.
That's what I heard, because they're doing it minor league right now as a test. And I think for strike zone they are. That's what I heard.
I don't think so.
I don't
think they'll do it.
Right.
They do all kinds of wild shit in minor league. You'll just like read one day that they're like, yeah, there's 3 monkeys playing in this minor league game tonight. Like, it's just fucking. There's for no reason for it.
Yeah, no reason for it.
Umpires aren't people.
No.
That's it.
No.
Like, who takes that fucking job in the first place?
I don't know.
Some fucking loser who couldn't play the game himself. That's who takes that job. You're a fucking loser. Right? And you just sit there and you think like that. It's seriously, it's like the same kind of guy that becomes a cop because he got bullied in high school. That's the same dude.
Well, everyone that becomes an NBA ref was in the mob.
Yes.
They
were all in the mafia.
For a while, that was definitely.
All from Delco, too.
All from Delco.
And somehow there's one female ref in the NBA, but every time I play NBA 2K, she's reffing every single game.
Yeah.
Must be pretty digitally fucking busy there, honey.
Yeah. Well, diversity.
Fuck off.
Diversity. We got a Friday night game, which is always fun for us junkies. They usually give you one on Friday of like, hey, did you think you were done gambling?
Oh,
sure aren't.
No free
ads for Subway.
Was that Subway?
I will, yeah. I'll tell my love for Subway. You don't have to play the ad. Western Michigan against Michigan State. This is at Michigan State. By the way, tickets, all these tickets are available on drinkinbrostickets.com. Tickets for this game, if you're in Michigan State, are $42 right now. Michigan State minus 22.5 against Western Michigan, over under of 54. They lost their superstar running back, Kenneth Walker. He is now in the NFL, and I'm not sure how good this offense is, and it's Western Michigan. What do you expect out of something like this?
I don't know much about Western Michigan this year, but they played pretty tough last year.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Pittsburgh at home, right?
Yep.
44-41. They beat San Jose State, who was pretty good last year. They beat Buffalo, who wasn't as good as they
Buffalo usually shows up every year.
Yeah,
though.
but they beat them.
Buffalo stinks.
They last year.
They'll play.
Last year
they lost Leopold, and they've been.
No, I
terrible
understand, but they'll put some points on the board.
Last year
Not
they
anymore.
didn't. Last year they didn't. Especially towards the end of the season, it kind of got fucked. But they beat Nevada in a bowl game. Western Michigan's not a pushover team, and this is a big deal for a team like that.
Right.
So I'm not sure. Michigan State typically also isn't the kind of team that is even capable of running up the score. You know what
Yeah, I mean, they usually have a really good defense. The Michigan State MO is a really good defense and then a running game, and they'll try to pound it down your throat. They've had great running backs over the years. The coach there is a defensive coach. The over-under in this game is 54. Truthfully, I probably stay away from this game for you guys. Now, in real life, it'll be Friday night. I'll be bored and throw something on it, and I'll probably jack this up to 29.5. Take Western Michigan, and then take that under down to 47. But that's at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's me just having it on in the background for a hundo so I can feel alive inside while I have dinner.
Does Michigan State have any injuries right now?
No, I think they're good. They're good to go, but they definitely had to reload there. I'm trying to think of who that quarterback was last year. Missed a good bulk of time in the hospital during college football season last year. So I gotta catch up.
Peyton Thorne.
Peyton Thorne, never heard of her. So do with it what you want. If you want to bet this one, I wouldn't really recommend it. But if you are, juice that up in a parlay and go 7-7 on both sides there, and enjoy a Friday night. You know,
pretty much any time this kid played against a good defense, he got rocked. Not that Western Michigan or whoever the fuck is a good defense,
right?
like against Ohio State. Even though their defense kind of sucked last year, he was 14 for 36 against Pitt, 29 for 50 against Penn State, 19 for 30. I mean, none of these are super. 19 for 30.
They didn't have any great receivers either on that team. I mean, it was all Kenneth Walker just
I
running
doubt
for
they
300
have
yards a
any
game.
receivers this year either.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. So I'm personally, look, I wouldn't recommend you putting any American dollars on this at all. There's a lot better games. Next up is Sam Houston against Texas A&M. I'm high on A&M this year. This is Sam Houston, though, however, and there is no spread right now.
I don't think you'll see a spread on this one.
No, I don't either. I don't even know what you would put that at, 52 maybe?
It would be in the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's the point?
What's the point of it? But I think A&M is going to be fun to watch this year, and they might sneak into the playoffs. Next up, Michigan against Colorado State. Now, Jim Harbaugh, fuck, I hate this guy. I mean, I'm glad he's coaching Michigan because it's fun. And, he's 1-7 against Ohio State. I love that. I love that he quit during the COVID year, the day after the point spread came out on Tuesday morning at 30.5, and just quit the game altogether. I love all that stuff about him. The other shit with abortion and everything else that he's saying, and he's using the Bible a lot, which he used yesterday again to describe his quarterback situation. He said it's going to be biblical. This is the first time I've heard of a coach doing this. He's going to start one player for the Colorado State game, a different player for Hawaii, a different quarterback, see which one of the two plays the best, and then try to pick a starting quarterback week 3. Now, the reason why that's interesting is you have a dog shit team in Colorado State. This line is minus 30.5, same as it was against Ohio State when they quit. And then they've got Hawaii, which we saw last week is a horrific team. So, yeah, I guess you have the luxury of doing that to figure out what it is. Last year it was Cade McNamara was their quarterback. I don't know who he's splitting time with in the second game, but he called it a biblical decision.
What does that
God
mean?
will choose.
Bob, analysis, please. What did he mean by biblical? Because there's an Old and New Testament, like bifurcation. What the fuck's he talking about?
I think he means grand, epic,
Biblical beatdown.
that sort of situation.
Is that what it is? Is that what this is? Let me look.
I mean, there's a lot of mundane shit
That's biblical.
in the Bible as well.
Yeah.
Let's see if he
A lot of
actually
dietary
clarified it.
rules and
Yeah, like
where you can masturbate in your house.
Like Leviticus and Deuteronomy. Read those two and tell me how exciting the fucking Bible is.
It's well rounded.
I mean, it's cool that they hate on gay people, I guess.
J.J. McCarthy is the other quarterback, and he was defending his decision. So he said, so many people have asked, how'd you come to that decision, Harbaugh said? Was it based on some sort of NFL model? No, it was really biblical. Solomon, he was known for being a pretty wise person.
He was known for having 300 wives and 700 prostitutes. I'm not kidding. That's what he's known for. Fuck out of here.
So it says here, because they're trying to guess what he's saying.
He also fucked up Israel big time.
So it says here, the verse Harbaugh appears to be referring to comes from, man, you'd know this one. Ecclesiastes?
Ecclesiastes.
There you go. 11:6.
Can we, is there any way while we're live to cut what he just said and play it back over and over? 'Cause that was bad. That's the worst one I've heard so
That's
far.
how much I know about the Bible. It says, sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, neither this or that, or whether both will do equally well. That's the verse he's referring
Wait,
to.
say the first part again?
Sow your seed in the morning.
So fuck in the morning.
Correct?
Got it.
And in the evening, let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well.
So just because you got laid this morning doesn't mean you shouldn't be out trolling for trim this afternoon.
Yes.
Is what he's saying.
Yeah. Fuck in the morning, fuck at night.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be the same person because Solomon had, again, 300 wives and 700 prostitutes. Concubines, he called them.
Boy.
So not just prostitutes in a rotation, but literally 700 women that the state of Israel paid to keep on staff with clean vaginas so he could pound them whenever he wanted to.
Respect.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And this pleased
If you
the
can,
Lord.
if you can afford, if you can afford to do all that with your own wealth, that's one thing. But if you're doing it with the fucking state's money, come on, man.
If this was my coach, I mean, I'd be so pissed off about it.
Who, Harbaugh?
Yeah,
why
dude.
does he keep talking about Jesus? Shut the fuck
I
up
don't
and
know.
play football, dude.
I don't know.
He did volunteer
To take all the kids.
yeah, to adopt the kids, and I think that's just a recruiting tactic.
Any unwanted baby that a player has, he said him and his wife will take in as their own. So,
Yeah, that's the 2040 recruiting class.
Yeah, of Michigan.
Yeah.
It's like getting on crypto early.
Bro, it's brutal. This is a game that I don't touch in real life at all, like not even out of boredom or anything. This is an 11 a.m. game. There's a ton of better games to bet on. Michigan minus 30.5 with this weird fucking quarterback stitch. Colorado State fucking sucks. And yes, they should beat them by that much. But who knows? Who knows? Most of Michigan's guys are gone this year. I don't expect shit out of this team, and they're coming in preseason at 8.
I'm not really a fan of, like, later in the season, once Michigan's demonstrated that their offense is capable, then I would probably take this. But in game one, there's no way.
I agree. So, again, there's better games to bet on. This ain't it, fam. If you're a Michigan fan, sure, fire away. Have fun with it. But for the rest of you dummies, no. Let's sit out of this one and just kind of watch the world burn. Next up, though, I did bet on this game. This is a great game. NC State against East Carolina. You might be saying to yourself, Ross, why is that a great game? It's only because these fans fucking rage there at Eastern Carolina, and they will show the fuck up for this. That is one thing I learned about living in North Carolina. They really care. Those Pirate fans really fucking care about East
I think
Carolina.
they should rename, just, to be PC, they should rename their team the East Carolina Butt Pirates.
That'd be fun.
And then the pirate is super gay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That'd be a blast.
Like, it's butt pirate, I don't think is a pejorative. I think it's just like kind of a cute way of calling somebody gay, right?
Who knows?
Like if my buddy was gay and I just said, "Shut the fuck up, you dumb butt pirate."
Sure.
Nobody would be offended by that.
I don't think so.
Because what does that even mean? It's not like he's sailing the 7 seas looking for fucking buttholes to ravage.
Well, now if he's stealing stuff out of your butt, then there's a problem.
Yeah, but if you got stuff in your butt to steal, that's your problem.
Sure.
Unless he's a turd burglar, which is a whole other situation.
Right. And then he's just burgling turds at that point.
You were getting rid of that turd anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
you
I mean,
were
I
gonna
was,
leave it.
I was certainly planning on it. East Carolina played pretty tough last year, but every time they played a good team, they got their fucking shit pushed in. I don't think this is going to be a problem.
I don't either.
But you just to be safe, because it's game one, you can take a teaser down to 4.5.
Yeah. So for this one, actually, this is on my teaser. I've got a huge parlay for the day. This game is on there at 4.5 on my teaser. The rest of it, I'll go through it as I talk about it. I try to bet teasers in the same day. I don't like ones that overlap. I like a fucking result at the end of the day. That way, if shit goes south, like it did last weekend with Nebraska, I can at least bet the Hawaii game. And let's face it, there's going to be one this week as well. But I'm all over this. In every teaser I have, NC State at 4.5. And I expect them to be pretty goddamn good this year. Truthfully, this spread at 11.5 isn't terrible. I don't know if East Carolina got any better, but their fans sure the fuck did. And they will come out for this, and it will be a blast there. So everybody who's in North Carolina, enjoy this game.
Are NC State fans going to travel for this, though? I mean, you would assume so.
Yeah,
like
it's
game
in state.
one.
It's in state game one.
Like,
It'll be fun.
have classes even started yet?
No, not at NC State.
Yeah, I think week one is like a week before classes start.
It is, and everybody comes back, so they're moved in. You're having fun, and then you're going to the first game.
Well, maybe there'll be a riot or something. That'd be fun.
One can hope.
I mean,
right?
I don't think NC State fans care enough about football to riot over it.
No, you and I went to one. It was Clemson. Remember, we went with your brother.
Yeah, it was 35-0 after the first quarter.
Correct.
And then we left.
We sure did.
Because what the fuck?
NC
had
State
some
has the
fun.
worst fans of all North Carolina colleges.
It was boring as shit at that
boring.
They're
game.
the most bland, basic.
But they were getting they were playing Clemson when Clemson was good, and they were like, it was very clear immediately that they were going to get their shit pushed
Trevor
in.
Lawrence was the quarterback, and
Campus is lame.
we were there on the field and shit, and you got to see Trevor Lawrence up close, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's an Adonis. He's a very large man, and he looked taller than the whole other team. It was a fucking dismantling.
App's a better fun town. ECU's more fun. Carolina, even now, football's a little bit more fun.
No, I agree for sure. And any college team that has an NHL team that plays in their basketball arena, you're like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Now, the next game is an absolute blast. This is the game of the afternoon. This is the best game in the afternoon. This is Oregon against Georgia. Big boy spread. This is Georgia minus 17. Who you got, D'Anthony?
I got Georgia minus 17.
Yeah.
Oregon fucking is a joke. The end.
And you think they get smoked in this game?
I don't think. I mean, the over-under is 53. Hang on, let me punch some numbers in here. 53-17. That's a 35-18 game, basically.
Yep.
Which is about what I expect. Like I think Georgia's offense is going to be a little bit more polished than it was last year. We'll see about the defense, but Oregon's offense is, even the years that they're good, it's like super fucking inconsistent.
Yeah.
So I don't expect them to come out week one. I mean, you never know. Week one's week one, but I think Georgia's going to fucking dominate Oregon in this game.
It is. And look, Oregon came out last year, week one, and dominated Ohio State. So who knows? They've got a new coach there. They've got basically a brand new team. I believe Bo Nix, the quarterback of Auburn, is now the starting quarterback of Oregon.
That is correct.
And at least he knows, a lot about Georgia because he's played them for fucking ever.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that matters. Like, I know how the physics of a bullet works, right? But it's not going to stop the bullet from impacting my face. And
He
going
always
out the
played
back of my
Alabama
head.
tough.
He did play Alabama tough. He's a gamer, man. This one's it's a really hard one for me. Bob was talking about teasing this up to 24 before we got on the air. Because 24 is a lot of points, and Georgia has a brand new defense. I mean, literally every single guy got drafted on the other side.
It would be 23.
What's that?
6-point teaser would be
Well,
23.
my bookie
7
this year is
points.
offering 7, so it's fun if you want. And they're also offering 6.5. I'm glad you brought that up. So this year they're spacing it out. It's minus 120 at 6, minus 130 at 6.5, minus 140 at 7. If you're doing a big teaser card, it's kind of fun. This one, though, this is such a tough one because Georgia's so unknown. We know their quarterback, obviously, and I don't think he's that great.
No.
So I think maybe teasing this up to 24 and taking Oregon is probably where I will go with this one, and this will be on my card.
I like teasing it either way. I like UGA
Teasing it down to 10 or
11. Yeah, I think Georgia can easily win this game by
2
11 or more,
touchdowns.
yeah.
I agree. I think it's in that range. Like, I think the spread is correct. It's probably a 14 to 17 point game here. So whether you tease it up or down, I think you're fine in this, but I genuinely think this is probably a 35-17 game, somewhere in there. So it gets close. You would win by 1 point by that method, but I think this is a little closer just because it's unknown. And this is not a UGA, by the way. This is at the Falcon Stadium, Mercedes-Benz down there. So it is a little different feel. They are on turf, same as in Oregon, so it won't be hot as shit there. So they're not going to be playing in that brutal heat of Georgia, and that might save them a little bit. So with that, I'll tease this up and take Oregon.
I don't know, man. Going west to east week one, that sucks.
It does. Sure does. But they did it last year, and they beat Ohio State at Ohio State.
Going from fucking Oregon to
Atlanta?
Columbus is not the same as going to Atlanta, right?
Meh.
That's 3.
I don't know what it is.
It's 3 time zones, is what it is.
Well, so Columbus is the East Coast.
How? In Ohio?
Yeah. Indiana is where it switches over into Central over there. But yeah, with this one, yeah, let's go Oregon on this one. I'll tease that up to 23 for sure. That'll be fun. That'll be part of the card, and I'll enjoy watching this game.
We've got so you've made a lot of bad things have happened to you because of betting against me, but also for the Pac-12. Oregon specifically.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yep.
Like, you had to rock a fucking feathered haircut for like a year.
I sure did. And so my rule was, we call it the Trap 12 here on the show. My rule is you got to take these goddamn teams and teasers because their actual spreads, they will fuck you either way each and every single time. And that is the only way you can do this bullshit with the Trap 12, man.
Pac-12 Danny will give you plenty of shine on outside the top 25.
Oregon was 5-9 against the spread last year.
Yeah, dude. The whole conference is probably 5-9 against the spread. The only ones I'm holding out hope for, Trap 12 wise, that I will actually bet real spreads on is USC. And they're not getting it. Nobody's talking about that fucking team, and I don't know why.
Michigan was 11-3 against the spread last year.
Yeah, they were good. I bet on a lot of Michigan games. Not the last one. I got fucked in that one. Actually, no, that's not true. The playoff game, we went all in on the show, and Jesus Christ, that was awesome. We won so much fucking money. The Ohio State game I lost.
I think the best Pac-12 team was Washington State, 8-5 against the spread. And I think they went what did they go, 4-7 last year or something?
Gross.
They just didn't lose against the spread.
They made a bowl game, but they stunk.
Yeah. Now
Bolo got fired.
Now you can bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. That is our title sponsor of the show. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. All the spreads we read here on the show are from mybookie.com. That's where we're betting. All the parlays, all the bet slips, everything is from mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros will let you go all the way up to $1,000 in a double deposit there. This is also brought to you by drinkinbrostickets.com. Go and get your tickets to the games at drinkinbrostickets.com. It's about $10 cheaper than StubHub, to be honest with you, because of the fees in the back end. That's pretty much it. And we just wanted you guys to at least have $10 off. Fuck, a lot of people are going to a lot of events, but nobody's going to this next game here. Bethune Cookman.
Nope.
Against University of Miami. The tickets are $15 if you're in the Miami area and just want to go and get blackout, I guess.
Nobody's
Bethune Cookman. Nobody's going to this game.
To a football game in Miami this time of year anyways.
No, and that stadium is outside. You and I have been there twice now, and it's going to be 90 degrees. They're playing Bethune Cookman. The U will not be back. That will be half-empty stadium, and I think people will forget about it. Next up is UTEP.
It's going to be 70% humidity and 90 degrees and 40% chance of rain.
Oh, perfect.
So,
who wouldn't want to be there then?
So enjoy that bullshit.
Yeesh, $15 those tickets are. Even this next game, UTEP versus Oklahoma. Those tickets are $43 if you want them on drinkinbrostickets.com. Oklahoma is favored in this one by 31.5 over UTEP. UTEP has already started their season. They lost last week. They are 0-1. Didn't look great. But this Oklahoma team is pretty fucking unknown at this point. Do you touch this game?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. And I know UTEP lost last week 31-13. I get it, but I know nothing about this Oklahoma team, and I want to see at least one game played underneath the new head coach and all these new people, because let's face it, they lost half their team to USC last year,
Yeah.
and I don't even know who's there. What, go ahead, Bob?
This is interesting. You might want to look at day of. So, and Dan, you know you sent me the spreadsheet, but I don't have it up right now. The math on this, right?
For the over-under?
So over-under is 57.
Yep.
Line is 31.5. Where does that put Oklahoma's team points? Because that doesn't. It seems like it's not going to come out high enough.
That seems like a 48.
45.
40 what?
45.
I kind of like that over on the team.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel's going to toast. This is the teams that he gets up for. He pads his stats here, and then when he actually has to face a real team, he folds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think betting the team over. Now, those odds usually come out like day of or day before. They're not out yet.
Yeah.
But the team over on Oklahoma there, based on that's just some weird math they got going. I feel like Oklahoma against teams like this, they usually score 50 plus. I mean,
Even do a player prop with Dylan Gabriel over touchdowns.
This,
Yeah.
by the way, this game is on Fox, so this is a nationally televised game.
Why the fuck would anybody want to watch
I
this?
don't know. This because it's on the same time as the Oregon-Georgia game. Like that, not one prayer. I pop over to this game.
this is actually, man, I don't even know what I'm going to watch during this time because there's another one. There's another good one that I think is.
That Bethune-Cookman game.
Yeah, man.
No, that's the same time as well. No, the next game is great. I'll flip over to this game. So I usually go back and forth between two. The next one, 100%. Cincinnati versus Arkansas. I am all in on Arkansas at this at -6 in this game. Now, the spread has dropped. I looked at this about a week and a half ago. It was right around 7.5. Then it went down to 7. Now it's down to 6. Cincinnati lost Desmond Ridder and those guys.
Well, Desmond Ridder sucks.
He was good for them at that time period.
Not when it mattered.
No, I agree. He was terrible in the last game. But he led them to the CFP. I don't think they're going to get back there this year. Cincinnati's number 23. Arkansas is 19. I'm very high on Arkansas. and it's going to be hot as fuck down there. Those players know how to play in this. This game, I'm all in on Arkansas.
I mean, the weather's probably commensurate with Cincinnati this time of year. It fucking sucks there, too. It's hot as fucking Cincinnati right now.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know that the weather's I think the reason Alabama is so good every single year, aside from the obvious stuff like having a great coach and having the type of athletic talent they have, is because they're used to reloading. Like, it's not a big deal for them to have a 80% different team and come in and expect to dominate again. We haven't seen any other football program be able to do that outside of 2 or 3 years at a time, except for fucking Nick Saban, at least in recent memory. So maybe you can't do it, but it is interesting to me, like whenever Clemson got good, what was it, 2014 or so?
Yeah.
And they were pretty good until 2019, 4 or 5 year stretch. It was interesting to me how they were able to keep that all together and continue to improve and reload instead of restarting.
Right.
I don't know that, I don't think Cincinnati's been good long enough for that, right?
No. And look, most of these kids were seniors and they left. So they're kind of starting over there. Whereas Arkansas, man, they were pretty fucking feisty last year. And I enjoyed watching them play a lot.
Cincinnati kind of reminds me of Gonzaga's basketball team 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Where they got peak performance out of a bunch of veteran dudes. Arkansas, though, they've been on the come up for a while.
This is one of my best picks of the day. It's one of my favorites. And I love the fact that it dropped from 7.5 to 6. That way it's a touchdown game. No teasers necessary. If you want to add it to a parlay on one, feel free, but you don't need the points in this one. They will win by a touchdown easily in this one, in my opinion, if not more. Next up, Houston against UTSA. Now, UTSA, Bob, if you wouldn't mind looking this up, covered a lot. And this spread reflects it. Now, Houston is number 24.
Texas San Antonio was 9-5 against the spread.
Yeah.
Last year.
They covered a lot, and this spread is only 4 for Houston, and they're ranked. And Houston usually throws up a lot of points. Over/under is 61.5 in this one. I bet you this will be a fun game to watch. It's just on at the same time as the other two, so I won't see a goddamn second of it. But the other fun part about this is they're playing in a neutral site at the Alamo Dome. So that's weird.
I mean, it's semi-neutral.
That's not neutral? No, that's where UTSA plays.
Oh, they play.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I thought
No shit. I thought they were going to tear that building down.
No, they have a ton of shit there at the Alamo Dome. It's
No,
very-
they used to, but they built the other one. Oh, that was the basketball one we went to for the Sweet 16.
Alamo
Okay.
Dome does all kinds of sport. I've been to a fucking Mexico-USA soccer game in the Alamo Dome.
I hate the Alamo Dome.
It's pretty trash,
No,
but
it sucks.
it is so befitting of the city it's in.
It's magical.
That's true. If there was a more fitting arena for a city, you're right. That is perfect for San Antonio. 100% correct.
This seems like -4 seems kind of low to me.
It sure does, but they're giving respect to UTSA because they always fucking cover.
Yeah, well, they cover because that covering isn't like a goal of theirs. They're just trying to win games. It's Vegas that sets the odds. That means Vegas is they over predict how bad UTSA is. Right. That's what that really means.
Right.
Because UTSA is not overperforming just to hit spreads. They're just performing how they perform.
They have
So
like
Vegas
a
is
6-year
off.
senior quarterback, Frank Harris back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bet this.
No. I'm staying far, far away from this. But it'll be fun. And it wouldn't surprise me if UTSA actually wins this fucking game, to be honest with you.
Meep, Ross.
Yeah.
Are they the Roadrunners?
Yeah.
I'm more interested in week 2 when we find out who Texas really is, because UTSA comes to town and they're going to give those boys a scare.
No, doesn't Texas play Alabama?
They play Alabama week 2.
Is UTSA week 3?
Yeah, well, I think it's
okay,
week 3.
they're just gonna add insult to injury.
Yeah,
then.
after Texas boat races Alabama, then we'll find out if they're really good.
Yeah.
Against UTSA.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Men of Troy against Ole Miss. Ole Miss is -21.5 in this game, but I believe they lost their quarterback. Bob, if you wouldn't mind looking that up for Ole Miss. Somebody got injured on their team, And it's Troy, though.
Don't
Do
care.
we really care?
Troy's
No.
4-8 against the spread last year. They fucking suck out loud.
Yep.
They're terrible. Ole Miss 21.5.
Yeah, and the only thing I would recommend for safety is just buying 1 point, taking it down to 20.5 in case it is a three-score game. Tickets for this are $7 at Ole Miss.
I don't
That's
know that
still
they
too
lost score.
much.
Jackson Dart, is that?
Yeah. Is he
Seems fine.
okay? He's good.
Jackson Dart was a quarterback for USC.
He sure
So
was.
he's a transfer.
Yeah.
Sure was.
I feel like they should have to pay me to watch this.
They might. I might reach out. I mean, look, when your tickets are $7 for your opener at Ole Miss, that's not great. It's not great for you guys.
Because you don't go into the Troy game. You stay in the Grove.
I'll tell you what, for shits and gigs, I'm going to take Ole Miss minus 20.5 in this one. Let's go. The lane train usually pulls it off week one. I'm into it. I'll buy 1 point and take this down to 20.5. Next up, we got BYU against South Florida, minus 12. This is actually going to be a fun game. I watched UCF play South Florida last year. Did you watch that game?
Yeah.
The quarterback for South Florida, I thought was fucking awesome.
It's our biggest rival.
So what did you think of that kid? Because I thought he was a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
He looked like fucking Byron Leftwich. I was like, holy shit, dude, this kid might be something. He took you guys to almost overtime.
We weren't good last year.
You're never that great, besides the national championship you won, and I acknowledge that you won the national championship.
We're going to win 9 games this year. I've already decided.
Okay. Is that great, or
Did
you
you let
sound
the-
disappointed?
Did you let the team know, or how's that work?
I'll let them know. Yeah.
Hey, guys, I've decided you're going to win 9
9-3.
games this
9-3
year.
this year.
Here, the good news about BYU and South Florida is that there's never going to be like a fucking South Florida, like a Miami flu or a Jacksonville flu or a Vegas flu with them.
Right.
Because they're not allowed to get the flu. They're not allowed to leave their rooms probably.
Nope.
They can't have fucking Coke, much less, booze and whores.
Oh, yeah.
It is the strip club capital of the world, though.
What,
Sure is Tampa.
Tampa?
Yeah. Tampa's disgusting.
Mons
I lived
Venus,
there
though.
for a year. Yeah, it was terrible.
Routinely nominated like the top strip club in America.
And
Tampa,
this game is where the Buccaneers play, by the way. Raymond James.
That's their home field, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's but BYU minus 12. I don't know if I believe that.
I don't either. This will be on my teaser card. I'll take Florida minus South Florida minus 18. I believe in that kid. He was really fucking good, dude.
He had like 12 turnovers that game.
But he was a true freshman, and he almost led them to
To beat us, yeah.
beat us. I mean, it was, and their offensive line was fucking terrible. That kid was running for his life.
Yeah.
He was good, man.
You know about rivalry games. You got to throw the records out.
I get it, but I believe in that kid. He was one of the best quarterbacks I watched, at least. I enjoyed watching him. I think on a good team, he'd be even fucking better, that kid. He was probably a 3-star, I would imagine.
Well, he's not on a good team, so
No.
let's move past it.
We sure will. We'll go to Rice versus USC.
Rice
I'm
is-
surprised there's a spread.
Why is the name of the university Rice? Is it rest, ice, compress, and elevate, or what is it?
I think so. I think that's what it stands for.
Are they trying to treat a fucking ankle sprain? What the fuck is going on? Why is it called Rice?
It's the only good area
It's,
to live in Houston.
it
Kind of
is.
seems racist, to be honest.
William Marsh Rice was
I
the
see.
founder, I believe.
And why was his last name Rice? Like the Earl of Sandwich or some shit?
Yeah, he grew rice. For a
Let's see
living.
what he did for a living. He was an American businessman
Sure.
who bequeathed his fortune to his own university. Rice, turns out, he may have been rich, but he was not beloved. He was murdered by his valet, Charles F. Jones, while sleeping.
And what did he do to Mr. Jones? Was Mr. Jones perhaps a person of color?
You know, who knows? The murder was part of a plot to forge Rice's will. The instigator of the murder was attorney Albert T. Patrick,
And what year was this?
1900.
Close.
Rice was 84. These were very impatient people, apparently.
Yeah, just let time do what it does.
Murdering an 84-year-old man.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, if you're gonna murder, that's like the least.
push him off a cliff.
I mean, you're doing the least amount of damage, I think.
Push him down the
Society.
stairs.
Push him down the stairs. Push him anywhere.
A stair.
Yeah, anything. Just push him anywhere. He's fine.
Falls
You can get
and
rid of that fucking
breaks a
guy.
hip, he's done.
Anyways, Rice is not a real place, and USC should be good this year. But 32.5 points in week one with a new team, new coach, new fucking skill position players. I don't think so, bud. That ain't happening.
I think Lincoln Riley lights it up, shows off his fun new toys, and it's USC by 35 plus. You can go ahead and bet this one. I'm fine with it. The tickets here are $25 at the old LA Coliseum. So, yeah, dude, if you're a kid out there and you want to go to a college football school, this ain't it. This is not it. Next up is my lock of the week. Love this game. I actually bet it 2 weeks ago. As soon as the fucking spread came out, I hammered it. This is number 7 Utah against Florida. Now, this line is Utah -3. I told you 2 weeks ago. Get it 2 weeks ago because I knew this was going to go up. I got it at -2. I threw an Ariana Grande on this game. Screamed this in your faces on the show 2 weeks ago. I'm all in on this game. I got to see Utah play Ohio State last year at the Rose Bowl. It's a pretty goddamn good team, and they're all returning. Florida, on the other hand, is brand new everywhere. I don't even know who their starting quarterback is this year. Did Jake tell you who their quarterback was this year?
I think it's Richardson, who was their backup last year, who got some time. He
Yeah.
would come in and do like kind of wildcat shit.
Anthony
Yeah,
is
but-
kind of excited to watch Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, he's explosive.
But he runs.
So's diarrhea. Florida was 3-10 against the fucking spread last year. They sucked.
They did suck. So he was a 4-star and the number 9 dual threat QB in the country in his class. So I mean he's legit, but
Yeah.
it's not. I don't think quarterback's gonna be their problem.
Well, either way, even if this is a field goal game at -2, I'm fine with it. And a lot of people are picking Utah to go to the CFP this year. Could be. Cam Rising's fun to watch, man. I really enjoyed watching these guys play against Ohio State last year. It's a really good football team. I'm excited to see what they do this year. Therefore, I'm all in on Utah in this game.
Is Utah like a public university?
Yes.
So they can't pull all that Mormon bullshit?
Correct.
There are a lot of Mormons there,
Well,
but
certainly, yeah. But that's just because of proximity.
yes.
I wish
But
more
you're
men
allowed-
were like them.
You're allowed to have sex there. Yes.
Yeah, there's also a lot of like, you got the whole snowboarding hippie crowd. You got frat, like sort of West Coast frat
Yeah.
guys, all that types of shit.
I mean, those are, well, see, that's a weird confluence of stuff. The hippie snowboarders and the Mormons, I think, would get along pretty well. But then when you bring in the date rapist element, that probably causes some problems.
I don't know. There's a lot of Mormons that are probably comfortable with that on a certain level.
Well, the men are comfortable with it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they don't think that women are people.
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, from the female's perspective, they probably don't want to get date raped. If I had to guess, I don't want to speak for women, but
No, not at all.
I've always been against rape.
Not at all. It's funny. My phone's blowing up with people watching the show going, bet this, bet this. No, motherfucker. Like, my bets are my bets, dude. I don't need to hear about your shitty team. I'll bet it if I want to bet it. But this one, yeah, I'm all in on Utah. Next up is Albany versus Baylor.
Nope.
Go ahead and skip that game altogether.
Well, there's just not going to be,
There's no point spread for that.
unless you have a fucking offline bookie who will take any action. Some of the sites will actually give you crazy ass spreads on this day of, but don't do that.
Don't do this. Don't
Because
do this.
Baylor may get up by 40 and then just quit. And
Yeah, Alabama does it all the time, man. They get up by, 30. Bama's breaking point is usually 35 for those guys where they're like, all right, good, we're done. We're done. Let's put in the second team. Baylor, Albany, there's no way you should bet on this at all. Tickets are $18, though, if you're in the Waco area. Next up is Illinois State against Wisconsin. No spread for this either. It's an FBS school.
yeah,
So
there's not going to be a spread.
last minute, I guarantee you there will be. But
I mean, if they
why?
do, it's going to be like in the high 30s, and I've never given Wisconsin 30 points. I don't care if they're playing like a fucking high school football team.
No, we've been tracking these spreads for the last few weeks here because they were up a long time ago on my bookie. Some of them wouldn't let you bet, over $100 or whatever because spreads change quickly, including this next game. So this is Miami of Ohio against number 20 Kentucky. This spread is now up to 16.5. When I first logged on a couple weeks ago, this was actually 13.5. Now this is up 3 points in this one. Truthfully, I'm surprised it's under 20 in this. Like, am I missing something about Miami of Ohio?
Yeah, Roethlisberger's back.
Yeah, is he playing again? Is his brother playing again? Like, why? Kentucky's got a pretty goddamn good defense. This year's team is fun. The fans are expecting a lot out of them. It's a 6 o'clock game. It'll be packed. People will show out for this on Labor Day weekend.
Miami of Ohio is annoying.
They are annoying, but against similar teams last year, like Monroe, Chattanooga, Vanderbilt, whatever, New Mexico State, Kentucky still put up like 30 to 50 points. Like this is
Because even the over-under is 54 in this game.
They're going to rag him. This is like a lock in a teaser.
Yeah, oh yeah, 100%. Look, I'm taking this straight up Kentucky, and I'm also taking it in a teaser. I love the fact that it's still under 17. I'll bet this right after the show is over.
Plus, you gotta factor in Stoops is now beefing with Calipari.
Oh yeah,
on campus. Like it's a legit beef
100%.
between the football and basketball team. So Stoops is going to come out firing.
Oh, he is, and people are excited about this team, which is fun.
What if Calipari suits up for Miami, Ohio? He's got another. He probably has at least 1 year of eligibility left.
Easily,
he comes out as quarterback.
Yeah,
and just fucking dominates Kentucky. Yeah. That would be funny.
The funny thing too is with the NIL deals going on now, Calipari doesn't have his fucking magic stick anymore. I wonder if football doesn't overtake basketball in that state because everybody can pay players now.
No,
you don't think so?
No,
we'll find out.
College basketball is kind of a joke now.
Well, I mean, shit.
Not in Kentucky.
With maybe we'll see.
I mean, it's a one and done school now.
Kentucky. Yeah.
I mean, he pivoted for a while there to transfers. That was a problem.
It was a problem. So is his next game. Utah State against Alabama. You want to talk about a spread jumping through the fucking roof. I have never seen a spread jump this high within 2 weeks. When this line first came out, it was Alabama minus 32.5. That was 2 weeks ago. Today, it is Alabama minus 41.5. I know a lot of people bet this. I actually got this in on a teaser back in the day, and I think I got it down to 27.5.
This is a 50.
When it came out.
This is a 52-10 game.
Oh, I agree.
Well, no, that's the calculator.
Oh, but that's what I think it's going to be. And to me, at 41.5, that's too many points. Alabama is a team that will stop. Like they will stop at halftime, mid third quarter, put everybody else in. And Saban does not give a fuck about point spreads, doesn't give a fuck about putting up huge numbers for the polls. They're already number one. He does not give a shit about.
There's teams he gives a shit.
Yeah.
He's not going to stop against Texas.
Not against Texas.
Yeah.
Or Texas Tech.
Yeah, exactly. But this, he'll stop. Like Utah State, you're just fucking throwing kids to the wolves. He will stop in games like this.
Yeah, but they struggled against UConn. That's why the point spread jumped up. Utah State.
Oh, last week?
Yeah.
Either way, man, this is.
Well, they didn't struggle.
This is dangerous.
They didn't struggle offensively. Their offense was okay, but their defense is one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my life.
They were down 14-0 to UConn at one point.
Yeah. Their defense is really bad.
Terrible.
Honestly, if the team check it game day, but if the team over for points for Alabama is under 50, then I would probably take the over on that. Like I don't know that it would be, but if I think Alabama will score 60 points in this game.
And in Alabama too, the other thing to watch for is
because I think their second string and third string are still better than Utah State.
No, I agree, but Saban usually runs the ball the entire time. But the thing to watch for, at least in the first half of this game, Alabama's got 2 transfer wide receivers, one from Georgia and then the kid from Pitt. I'm excited to see them play with Bryce Young. So they might air it out in that first half. If you're going to put something on this game with a spread this high, maybe go in the first half of this game because that's when Alabama will really run it up. And then I think this is over at halftime.
So Utah State gave up 245 yards rushing against UConn. So what the fuck do you think Alabama's going to do? Even if they're only running the ball with their third string fucking running backs, they're still going to be scoring.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
So I'm taking I'm just going to bet this straight up at 41.5. I'm going to go 41.5 Alabama, and I'm taking the over for Alabama points as well.
It's strange that I looked at this over. So the over 62.5. I looked at this over, and I immediately thought a 58-0 game. I don't know why. 58-0 is what popped into my mind. 62.5 might be too high, only because I don't know if Utah State scores.
Yeah,
Bama's defense is great.
I'm not taking the game over. If I take an over, we'll see what it comes out at on game day. But if the over is for Bama is like 50 or 51, I'm taking it.
Will Anderson against these Utah State kids, that's going to be brutal. My God, dude. I almost feel bad for this game. Like, I feel bad for the children out there.
I've never felt bad. Like, you decided to get into the battlefield here, so you got to deal with it.
Sure. Next up, game of the week. Notre Dame, number 5, against The Ohio State University. Want to talk about another point spread climbing rapidly in the last 2 weeks. This game started off at minus 13.5 for Ohio State. It has since jumped to 17.5 for Ohio State. The over-under has also jumped all the way up to 59 points. Whew. It's hard to wrap your mind around why here. For a number 5 team, this is the biggest spread that I can remember for a 2 versus 5 team. Can you remember anybody in the top 5 that has played each other that has been a spread this high?
Yeah, Cincinnati playing anybody when they were number 4, right?
No, I mean, look, we bet on Cincinnati a lot.
What was
and
the,
they usually covered.
What was
it was the CFP game that we bet on against Alabama, and we went all in on that. What was that spread?
I think it was
last year?
13.5 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so too.
But the one before that, who did they play in the first round?
It was Alabama.
Yeah. Or not in the first round. Who? God damn it! I'm thinking of a specific.
Who did they
game.
play in the conference championship?
Yeah.
Was it Memphis?
Yes, and I believe it was Memphis for the second time, and they
went back-to-back weeks.
Right, and they covered late in that one. I bet it on the show. They ended up covering late, but it was close. It wasn't great. But that was the highest spread that I can remember. It was at 13.5. This is not even close. The Buckner kid for Notre Dame got named the starter. He played a little bit last year. I don't know anybody else on this team. They got a decent running back. Wide receiver tore his ACL. He's out. Yes, the coach did play for Ohio State, so maybe he knows some of the defensive schemes. But I think this is going to be a blowout, and I've taken this in teasers both ways down to, because I already bet this. I already took this when it was at 17 down to minus 11, and then I took the over-under when it was at 58 down to 52. I also took an alt line, which Bob and I talked about, and then this is my big dick moment of the week, by the way. Yes, I have my locks of the week. My big dick moment of the week, though, I put $200 on Ohio State minus 32.5. That pays off at plus 380.
So what is that like? What are you gonna get? What are you gonna get paid for that? Like $600, $700, $800?
Oh yeah,
nice.
$720 is my return on that. With that, I'm going to give you an actual score for this game as well. 48-14. That is my prediction of this game. I think the over is going to be beat. I think Ohio State wins by 34 fucking points in this game, and I think they really pour it on with all the recruits there. LeBron will be there. Everybody will be there. Game day will be there. And I think Ryan Day really goes for the fucking jugular.
I think even more than that. I do think Ryan Day is going to try to run the score up. But I think even more than that. Because forget about it being the first game of the year. Even if you struggle with some close SEC games in the middle, or Big Ten games in the middle of the season, if you've got that game against a top 5 team where you just boat raced them, that helps you all year, no matter what. I think the real standout is going to be Ohio State's defense. I think they're going to fucking destroy Notre Dame in this game.
So do I.
Can I give my prediction?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I think it's going to be halftime. Ohio State is going to be up like 17-10, and you're going to be calling for CJ Stroud's job again.
Maybe.
No, look, with CJ Stroud this year, they reloaded with unbelievable 5 stars. Look, when 3 out of your top 5 Heisman favorites are on the same fucking team on offense, it's pretty gnarly. Smith and Jigma's there, number 1 receiver in the nation.
I don't think you're allowed to say that, actually.
Exactly. You got to be real close with that last name. Travion Henderson could be in New York as well. C.J. Stroud can be there as well. Marvin Harrison Jr., Julian Fleming.
Great points, but I'm talking about you being irrational. I'm saying that you're going to cause me and Rob to have to defend C.J. Stroud again.
I wasn't irrational last year. They benched him. After I talked about it, they did bench him a full game. So it wasn't just me. Obviously, the coach thought of it too and benched him. And then after that benching, he came back and played, like a 5-star recruit, like he should have. So good for Ryan Day. He's a fucking champion, all right?
Trayvon Henderson is a fucking stud.
Yeah.
He might be the best running back to come out of Ohio State in 15 years. To be honest.
Since Ezekiel Elliott, probably. Yeah.
Well, that's been a little bit. That's not been 15 years. What he came out like
2014. We won the we won the national championship with him in 2014.
He's probably the best in Zeke.
Yeah.
I mean, not probably. He definitely is the best in Zeke.
Yeah. As long as he stays healthy, these guys will roll, and I'm excited to be there. If you're a Notre Dame fan, can't wait to see you there.
I actually expect to see Henderson get used more in the passing game this year as well.
Yeah.
That dude's fast as fuck. Like, he broke a couple of 50-plus yard. He had 4 receiving touchdowns last year, and I think 3 of them were 50 yards or more.
He's a beast.
Like,
dude.
you get him in the open field, and he's just fucking dust.
That guy's hard to bring down. Last but not least, we do have a Monday night game this year because it is Labor Day. They've been doing this a lot. They usually do it at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. It is Clemson against Georgia Tech. No spread on this.
It's my bookie's got it.
They do? They got
it's
it?
minus 21.5.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. Minus 21.5 for Clemson, correct?
It's and the over is 49.
Oof. Look, you and I feel the same way about Clemson this year, which is not great.
That's a 35-13 game, basically.
Georgia Tech is shitty. They haven't been good since the 80s in college football. So, yes, Clemson will win this game, but I think we get to finally see whether this kid is any fucking good or not, this ukulele kid.
He's not.
I don't think so either.
Like, I'm looking. You can see his stats from last year. He's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't
an
awful year.
It wasn't against, like, great teams. Florida State, Louisville, UConn, Wake Forest, and South Carolina. Those are the teams he's beating.
Right.
And even then, he topped out at 241 yards passing. That's his season high.
Yeah.
And his average was like 170 fucking yards a game.
Not great.
Like, come on, man. And it wasn't like he was running a lot either.
Well, it's not like his competition was that great. Like, the ACC schedule is a fucking joke.
Now, look, Joe Burrow in LSU the year before he was the best quarterback in college football history kind of stunk.
Yeah, I think they were 8-4, maybe 8-5.
Like, he didn't turn the ball over a lot, but they didn't do well. Granted, they improved their skill position players that season, but it wasn't anything like what this kid did.
No.
A 43 QBR, 9 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Like, this dude's not good.
No.
I don't know why people think he's so good.
This
is to Bob's point earlier about all those names that were 3 stars and how much success they've had. This dude was probably a 5-star.
He was a 5-star. He was one of the top. I think he was second in the nation, this kid.
Here's my bold prediction. He's not the quarterback for Clemson at the end of the season. I can't believe he lasted all last season. I think they knew it was going to be a throwaway year, and that's why they let him keep playing. But I think they expect to win now, and he's not going to be the guy.
Who do they have behind him? Do you know? Who's the second string guy there in Clemson?
Hunter Helms, maybe, which is close to Hunter Helmsley, which is Triple H's name.
Cade
great.
Klubnik.
What?
Cade Klubnik.
Yeah, might want to change that name. Might want to change. That's when you go to one name, like a Cher Sitch. Just go by Cade at that point. Klubnik is the last name there?
C.
Yeah,
They've
great.
got, so Hunter Helms is a sophomore. They have another guy named Hunter Johnson, who is a senior, who I've never heard of, which means he doesn't play.
Sure.
Klubnik is a redshirt freshman. He's actually from Austin.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
So if he ends up playing this year, I think we should give him an NIL deal.
Klubnik?
Yeah, and the deal will be I don't go rob your house in Austin while you're gone. I think there's some monetary value to that.
You're basically paying him to stay at net zero.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
but it's look, you can get worse than 0, brother. Believe me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't expect this ukulele dude to be the fucking like he's a junior this year, a redshirt junior, which
Right.
means time's almost up, bud.
Sure is.
And they're not gonna fucking just ride it out a whole other year. You can't.
I wonder, man. I wonder what they're going to do here. It'll be fun to see because Clemson lost offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. They even lost their athletic director last year. So we'll see how good Dabo really is this year because Saban has been forced to reload on the exact same shit. He loses all of his fucking coaches every single goddamn year. And he is fine with it. We'll see if Dabo Swinney is able to do this. Now, full disclosure, since this is a Monday night game, and NFL doesn't start till Thursday nights, check into Drinkin' Bros Sports. I will have some form of bet on this because I'm disgusting and there's nothing else going on Monday nights, and I'll be here. But I'm not going to be proud of it. Just know that. I'm not going to be proud of it. Just know that.
By the way, my bookie's got odds up for the Alabama-Texas game.
Is it still 15.5?
17.
Oh, shit. Oh, my.
It'll be 20 by...
I might have to clutch my pearls on that one. Whew. Texas is playing Saturday night. And
are they playing UNT? Who are they playing?
They are.
Monroe.
Yeah, we saved that for last because Lázaro Lopez will be there with Lance Liggett from some Thigh Huggers.
Yeah.
So there will be a line out the stadium to get photos and beers with those guys, and they will be raging their fucking dicks off. Lance will be in studio tomorrow. We're trying to cut a deal with him for Thigh Huggers and get some Drinkin' Bros merch out there for him. Big fan of those guys. We're sending them to the Texas game. It is Texas minus 39 in that game. I don't know anybody other than a Texas fan who would actually bet on Texas at minus 39, but go ahead, I guess.
I mean, they're one
Quinn
of the
Ewers is starting.
They're delusional. By the way, BT Bates says Cape Klubnik was the second in his class to Quinn Ewers.
Oh, really?
So
All right.
maybe a legit guy.
Maybe. We'll find out.
Definitely better. Like, he can't possibly do worse than DJ blah, 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 whatever his name is.
But we'll find out if Quinn Ewers is for real. He's starting this game. Part of me wonders if they put him in for the first half and let's say they're rolling him, right? Then you go with the card kid for all the second half to make him happy because the rumor was around Austin that card outplayed him, but Quinn Ewers has got the NIL money and they needed to fucking protect their investment and start him and pay him. But I wouldn't be surprised if they switch quarterbacks at halftime.
I wouldn't be surprised if Quinn Ewers gets knocked out of the Alabama game.
Oh, on the field?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a brutal one.
Like, he's never seen a
Will,
defense like
and
that.
you're going against Will Anderson. Yeah. Have fun, pal.
He's just going to be on his back that whole game.
Yeah, because I said during the Ohio State rant that 3 out of the top 5 Heisman favorites were Ohio State players. The other 2 are Alabama, Bryce Young and Will Anderson.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
good
honestly,
luck against Will Anderson. He's the best in the league this year.
I hope that Quinn Ewers is great.
So do I. It'd be great for the town.
Yeah.
It'd be great for the town.
Yeah.
Be great for the mullets.
He's a
the
local guy. He's got a mullet.
I agree.
And it'll be nice, since I'm going to be here in Austin for a while, to see everybody's hopes go a little bit up and then just get crushed. So I'm really rooting for Quinn Ewers.
You know what would be the worst, though, by the way, is if Texas were to somehow beat Alabama, we would never hear the end of it from Longhorns fans forever.
I don't mind that. That's you earned that one.
Forever.
But then the city's in a better mood.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you beat
think they'll
Alabama,
work?
like, College Station should still be sucking its own dick right now. If you beat Alabama, I don't care if it's at home or on the road or whatever, at any point, you fucking deserve it. Those guys were, even when they do have, it's funny, Saban kind of referred to last year as almost like a rebuilding year, which is funny because that's your rebuilding year, Jesus Christ. But he is right. They did have some issues last year.
Yeah.
And they were still way better than almost everybody else.
Yeah.
Dan, I'm still celebrating our win against Alabama in 2000.
You should.
We're 1-0 against Alabama,
Yeah,
undefeated.
You earned it. National title.
Now-
Unlike Bob and Georgia will never get to say that.
No.
Never have a national
But
championship
actually beat
football
Alabama
field.
in Alabama.
Yeah. What was the score of that game?
In 2000? I think we won by 2 or 3.
Now, what year did you become aware of that game?
2009.
Yeah, okay.
The year you started college.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you get read in on all the stuff, right? Like, hey, here's a list of stuff we're
Here's
super
the
proud
talking
of.
points we're going to give you for UCF.
1-0 against Alabama.
I like
That's
that.
all that matters.
I like it. It's pretty funny. But Lázaro Lopez and the boys will be there. You know the rules. If you find him, he'll buy you a beer. And those guys will be partying. It is a 7:30 game here. It's the night game in Texas. I don't know why they made that the night game here in Texas versus a point spread that's minus 39. But those 2 dicks will be there, and they're a blast to party with. So find them. I believe they're sitting in zone-ish somewhere in there. We appreciate you joining us, kids. Bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. And as always, get all your tickets on drinkingbrostickets.com. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes. Go and leave a 5-star and leave a quick review. That's all the advertisers care about. And same with Spotify. Just click a 5-star and walk away. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros Sports College Football Week 1.